Greetings, time travelers. Welcome back for some more casual hardcore Minecraft in the uncertain world, in which my fate is very much uncertain, and the fate of this world is very much uncertain. Now, since you guys are time travelers, so you will actually know by now, if you're watching this, you'll actually know if I survived this episode or not. I don't know that. I don't know. I might perish in this very episode. In fact, I might be jinxing myself right now even talking about it. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it. But there is a real possibility that this might come to a very early end, which would be very unfortunate. But then I don't know. I you know what? I was trying to gear myself up for just being willing to just let go of this world if I die. It's so nice, though, that I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that once again. Like, I'm just trapping myself into another world that I'm not going to be able to part with once I eventually die and the hardcore mode ends. And then what? Am I just going to start another world and then get trapped in another world and feel like I have to keep playing that one too? It's really uncertain, guys. Very uncertain. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to happen with this channel. What's going to happen with these worlds? I guess like the fourth playthrough that I'm taking seriously. I mean, this second, third, and fourth mundane world are kind of abandoned now. I don't think I'll ever come back to them. But the other three, I'm planning to just come back to eventually. And this one too is so freaking nice. How am I going to be able to part with this? I don't know if I'll ever be able to part with this once I die. But maybe I'll never die. I don't know. Perhaps I should just sort of take it slow and savor the precious moments of still being alive for the first round, you know, for the first life, the real hardcore mode live. Because after that, it just becomes fake hardcore mode. I mean, and the thing is, like, I still try to avoid dying afterwards. I still kind of take every death really seriously and you know, build myself an obelisk for every death that happens. So I still make it feel like it's hardcore, but it's you know, it's not gonna be the same as the first precious life that I have. So I really hope that this I get to at least day 100 in this one at last for the first time. It's you know, it's gonna be a year of this channel since I since I uploaded the first video of my first casual hardcore Minecraft video from the original mundane world. It's going to be almost a year. It's going to be a year in mid-February. And I'm thinking that, well, I really hope that by that time I'm finally going to have some 100-day world tours ready for you guys, because I still don't have those, and that was kind of the promise of this channel all along. I really was always looking forward to making those at last, but I feel like I have to bring all of my worlds to at least day 100 to do that, because I don't want to just do one and then you know, perhaps a whole bunch of people will subscribe because they expected more, and then it's just not going to be another one for like months after that. So I just want to be patient, be very patient, and get, you know, multiple worlds, get all of the worlds that I care about, that I've recorded up to day 100 before I make any more of the 100-day world tour videos. And hopefully I'll actually make it to day 100 in hardcore mode in at least freaking one of these worlds, in at least this one perhaps. It's very uncertain though. It is called the uncertain world. I really hope that I'm not going to be, you know, making an uncertain world 2, because it's just, this doesn't happen every time. This really doesn't happen every time. When you're above the clouds like this is so rare. And and I got it the second time in a row. It's unbelievable. I mean, this, you know what I'm saying? This chicken knows what I'm talking about. This chicken is like, yeah, bro. I'm never on top of mountains like this. I'm usually much farther down. This is crazy. Yeah. Well, all right. I should really start doing something. It's going to be a shorter episode, because I decided I'm going to do 5 Minecraft day long episodes, which is still a long time. I mean, that's going to be like about an hour per episode, maybe a little less than that. But since I went on to day 12, I'm still currently in day 13, I believe. I think we're at 12 days played, and we're on day 13. So I only have like this day and then 2 more days until we're into day 16. And I might go on beyond day 16 if I'm trying to finish thoughts or something. That might happen. But I don't know. I don't know how long this episode will last, but it's probably going to be on the short side. Probably. It's the uncertain world where nothing is a definitive. Nothing is pre-planned. I guess I don't have much things planned. The plan for today's episode, I was gonna kind of work my way around to the at least the peak of the mountain. I mean, the base of the mountain is enormous. I'm not gonna go all the way around the base of the mountain, but I'd like to at least secure these upper regions of the mountain because I'm gonna be spending a lot of time up here. If I'm really going to do this, if I'm really doing this, it's going to be a tremendous amount of work. But I at least want the beginning. At least want to get a little starter house happening. Just the tip of the iceberg. I just want to start off with making a little platform at the top there above the clouds, which is where I want to have the starter house, which is going to be really nice. But I need to see how big that platform is to begin planning out the actual house. And yeah, before I do that, I gotta go around it and light up any caves that I see and just light up the surrounding landscape. I mean, it still takes a long time. It's just the thing is, there isn't really any better place. It's all really hilly terrain everywhere. I mean, the plains biome on that side, the plains biome that you go through, that I walked through back and forth to get to the little cherry tree where I set up my first camp. Gosh, you can't even see it from here. I'd have to go. I mean, it's also pretty hilly, but also the plains biomes are very dangerous. They're a lot more dangerous than they might appear, because there's lots of caves. They're cheese underneath. The plains biomes, they're cheese biomes. You might as well call them cheese biomes because there's just going to be tons of little caves popping out of the ground everywhere. And in order to secure it, you'd think that, oh, well, it's pretty flat. You can just flatten out the top of that hill there. Well, yes, you can, but there's going to be little caves all around it that you got to explore and light up. It's still a tremendous amount of work to secure a good any amount of land in a plains biome. So it's still pretty hard. It still takes a lot of time. So it's probably pretty much as good as it gets up here on the top of the hill, on top of the mountain. I shouldn't call this a hill. This is definitely a mountain. This is a freaking mountain peak up there. That's definitely. I mean, if that's not a mountain, I don't know what is it. What is a mountain then? That's definitely a mountain. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's just and it rains right as I sleep. That is so frustrating. I hate to sleep in the rain. Come on. I don't like to sleep in a wet bed. It's not a good way to go. But whatever. It was very brief and it's over. All right. So I wanted to go around the peak of the mountain and sort of try to secure it a little bit. I mean, it's not gonna be. I mean, as much as I can try to secure it, there's just so much to try to light up, because you should really light up all around it, or the walls all around. You should go around the entire mountain, light up all the walls around it, just so that you can just hang out on top of the mountain at night. I mean, I guess I'll have fence to sort of block off any mobs that try to come up on up the ledge. But it's going to take a long time to actually light up the entire mountain. Yeah, that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm just going to build a fence around whatever the top area is that I'm going to have sort of sectioned off. That's what I'm going to do. That sounds about right. What am I doing? What am I doing next? I'm not really thinking very much about what I'm actually trying to do now. What am I actually doing? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm going on autopilot. I want to be chopping trees. That's my favorite. You know what? I'm pretty sure chopping trees, now that I've thought about it for a while, I think chopping trees actually supersedes digging dirt as far as the greatest thing about Minecraft. Because you end up chopping trees more frequently than you end up digging dirt. At least I do. And I loved, as much as I love digging dirt, that is my personal favorite thing to do in Minecraft. The chopping trees probably is more broadly speaking, in a more general sense, the chopping of the trees is probably the greatest part of it, because you end up doing that more, And the more repetitive a task is, the more our brains are actually enjoy it, because it's automated. Our brains like to do things in an automated fashion. It's so pretty. This is so beautiful from up here. I want to just look at the landscape while and just ramble. Yeah, our brains just love to do things in an automated fashion. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen to this little cave over here. It might just. I mean, it's not a very big cave, so I'm tempted to just sort of fill it in. Freaking just fill it in with either cobble or dirt. I have more dirt than, have more cobble than dirt, right? I only have like a stack of dirt. Got almost 3 stacks of cobble now. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm just gonna fill it in, because I don't think it's not big enough to do much with. I was thinking of setting up a little starter base, a little like sort of a cave dwelling like I did in the OG mundane world. But this isn't even big enough for a little cave dwelling, and the ceiling isn't very thick, right? Because it's like this. That's the ceiling. It's not very. It's like just one block high. If I break these down, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna reveal a hole underneath just this one layer that I'm definitely gonna break down. So I'm pretty sure that cave is just getting filled in, because I don't like leaving spaces. I don't like leaving open spaces that are, even if they're lit up. I really, if I'm gonna not. I don't like leaving open spaces that I have to, because I'm still gonna know that it's there. So I would rather just fill it in completely. If I'm gonna not think about it, I'm gonna have to fill it in completely to avoid having to think about it. Or otherwise, I'm just gonna be stuck thinking about it until I fill it in. That's what's gonna happen. So, but I'm pretty sure there's a cave underneath that cave, because I was hearing zombie sounds from underneath, coming from underneath. So there's more to it. I'm pretty, like, maybe over here. I think there's an opening over here, isn't there? There is oh my gosh, look at that. Wow, I didn't know that was there. First time I'm seeing this over here. Well, that's not super dangerous, because I don't think things can actually crawl up from there. It's pretty deep. It's really a steep drop. But I should go ahead and chop some more trees down, because that'll make it a little safer. Because trees, all of these little trees are good hiding spots for creepers. They camouflage with the greenery, and it makes it harder to run away from them too, because then you gotta evade the canopy and such. And they might be hiding more little caves, more little cave entrances. So I guess that's probably what I'll be doing. What I'll be doing now with these last couple of days I got of this episode, or maybe 3 days. I'm not sure. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on that, on the most repetitive task that is also the most pleasant activity in my. Make sure I got a hoe equipped. Most pleasant activity of all of Minecraft, because it's the most repetitive and the thing that you end up doing the very most in the game. That's basically half of the game. Yeah, it's a very relaxing experience. Actually building stuff, the iconic aspect of Minecraft, the creative aspect of Minecraft, of actually building stuff, that's hard. Actually building stuff is freaking hard. You have to think about everything. You have to plan things out. That takes brain energy. That's actually difficult to do. You have to count. You have to do math. You end up trying different things out, breaking things back down if they don't really turn out the way you expected. It's a long, tedious process. It's much more tedious than doing this repetitive tree chopping, on which I barely even have to focus. I can just chat. I can just talk to you guys while I'm doing this, because I'm not even focusing on what I'm doing, because this is my brain's on autopilot like right now, very comfortably so. This is just a pleasure to be doing this. It's great. It's fantastic. It'll be interesting if there was like a tree counter that kept track of how many trees you cut down. I don't know how it would do that, because there's no way for the game to know, how many wood blocks is per, what wood block is part of what tree, and whether or not you even chop down the entire tree. Can you believe that some players just chop down the bottom of the tree and leave the rest of it just floating in the air? Can you believe that? It's probably the most egregiously offensive thing you can do in Minecraft. But I don't know. Most players aren't that bad. I mean, it's not bad technically. It's not like it's a. You can play the game any way you'd like to, in whatever way is most entertaining to you. You can be as compulsive or messy as you'd like, because that's Minecraft. It's whatever suits your boat. And what suits my boat is chopping the trees. Yeah, I don't really have much. I don't really have any philosophy to. I didn't plan on any kind of intellectual topics to discuss. I haven't really. I haven't really had much of that kind of stuff on my mind lately. You know, the last video I recorded of the prologue worlds, well, as of now, as of currently, it's probably not going to be the last one. I'm sure I'll be back to the prologue world, but the 33rd episode, the reverse redemption theory episode, it's getting a bunch of it's the algorithm's still trying to promote that one, even though I already released like a couple more of this world. The algorithm's still like, no, that reverse redemption episode, that people want to see that one. But hardly anybody likes it though. People check it out and they're like, what is this? What's reverse redemption of what? And you know what? To be fair, I wasn't very clear about that. About like what am I referring to about with the reverse redemption? Like what reverse redemption of what? I don't think I really made that very clear. And I will. Let me make that very clear. What I meant is instead of the point of life being a matter of seeking redemption for like our souls, like traditionally is what religion generally is trying to suggest that we do. I think it's actually, it ought to be in the reverse. Like we're over here trying to redeem God, because we're trying to redeem God's shortcomings in having created this extremely imperfect, not just imperfect, but dangerous and painful and difficult world. And we got to make the best of it, and we gotta try to make the world a better place, to try to make it seem as if it was all worth it in the end. Trying to make up for an enormous mistake. I mean, I don't think it was actually a mistake. I'm thinking what I was going with is that it very well might be that it wasn't really as much of a mistake as something that God had to do in order to redeem himself. That it's the only way. That it was his only chance at redemption, and that's why we're having to endure all of this suffering. We're actually having to do this because it's the only means of that it's the only way for God perhaps to learn the lessons that we're learning from life. Like perhaps God created us to learn through us the lessons of life that were otherwise a mystery to him, and we're here to redeem God's otherwise evil nature, or perhaps inadvertently evil. I guess is it really evil if it's inadvertent? Because I don't think God has free will either. I don't believe in free will, and I think it's kind of turtles all the way down with free will. I don't think I think if there's a God, well, he must also not have free will. So everything that God does is also kind of inadvertent. So I that's why I was saying I think we ought to exercise leniency, radical leniency, and be forgiving of God's obscenely masochistic, borderline evil nature, But see, I don't know if it's fair to call it evil if it was inadvertent. If he doesn't really know that it's bad, if he doesn't know how bad it is, he hasn't experienced it yet for himself. That's why we're having to endure life, to experience how miserable it is. And perhaps from our experience, God will learn how to avoid doing that, how to perhaps create a better world, or perhaps help us create a better world. He sure doesn't seem to be in a rush trying to help us out, though, is he? But perhaps that's because there's no other way to learn the lessons of life other than to endure the suffering without any kind of supernatural aid, without any kind of supernatural assistance. Because otherwise, you would expect the supernatural assistance to come help you out whenever you're in a tight spot. You would just expect to be bailed out every time, and you would never learn non-transactional compassion. You'd never learn the value of just sticking to your better conscience and not expecting anything in return from it. So perhaps we have to endure this just to obtain the data, to obtain the data of what it's like to do that. I like to think of it as kind of like data, like we're the artificial intelligence that's being trained by the Matrix to gather the data of how to exercise our better conscience for the sake of improvement of the human condition. And then once you get that, and that's kind of that was kind of the foundation of for me for like my philosophy of life. That kind of answers the question of what we're living for. And then after that, there's still the question of how do you go about that? How do you go about exercising your good conscience? What actually is the plan? Like, what do you do? How are you supposed to? What does that look like? What are we working towards? What does a better world look like? Right? And my answer to that is tribe revivalism, micro nationalism, tribe I mean, I don't believe in the regular the normal streak of nationalism, because I think that it becomes too unwieldy. Once it gets any bigger than just a fairly small group of people, it becomes too unwieldy. That's why I don't think, or at least it's extremely difficult to scale up human collaboration. That's why I don't think nationalism can ever really work out. But micronationalism, just the idea of just having a few, like maybe 100 or a couple hundred people living close, right next to each other, sharing space, essentially buying out adjacent property, living in close proximity, trying to emulate the kind of environment that we evolved with, the kind of social setting that we evolved with. I think that's achievable, and I think that's actually, I find the fantasy of doing that, potentially, I find it to be an immensely motivating, exhilarating, empowering fantasy. It feels I don't know I don't remember the words I normally use to describe the feeling. I'll remember it later and post it in the episode description, probably. But anyways, enough of that. That's all the philosophy I want to do. I wasn't even expecting to talk about that. It just dawned on me that I didn't really make it clear about what the hell do I mean by reverse redemption. And that's what I mean, guys. I mean that we're here to redeem God instead of the other way around. That's where the reversal happens. So yeah, we're here to make to create a better world so that it appears that it was all worth it. In reality, it was never all worth it. It can't be all worth it, because the ends don't justify the means. No matter what we gain out of it, no matter how good the end result is going to be, because the ends don't really justify the means, in reality there is no redemption. But at the very least, it will feel like it was worth it. So, since it was inadvertent, we might as well make the best of it, because it was inadvertent. We can't take it back. It can't be undone, and it had to have happened. So that's as the best we can do is to try to make the best of it, anyways, despite how absolutely perverted it is. It's perverted. It's obscene and perverse. Nature is obscenely masochistic. Evolution, it's obscenely masochistic. The weak genes die out, just die in painful death, and that's how it works. Everybody dies in mostly a painful death. You're lucky if it's quick. Or or you end up suffering your entire life leading up to that, having to endure some chronic illness or something. I mean, that's kind of how my life has been so far, which is why I'm very angry, generally speaking. Just I have a lot of anger in my heart, because I feel like this has been sick my entire life. It freaking sucks. I hate it. I want it to be over. I'm trying my darnest to help myself heal. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with me. Can't even figure out what the hell is wrong with me. Here it is, guys. I think we're onto something. Perhaps this is the little cave where those creepy sounds were coming from. Let's see what's down here. Oh, I gotta eat an apple. Good thing I looked in my inventory. Yep, that's a hoe. Let's switch it back to the pickaxe. Yeah, this is definitely where that zombie was growling at me from. And it's a very tiny little cave. There's nothing down here. Nothing at all down here except some coal, and that's it. No zombies in here right now. Yeah, just a couple coal veins they'll probably eventually dig out, and that's it. But see, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm going around chopping these trees down, because you get places like this. A creeper can spawn in there and pop out of onto you, and it'll be the end of the uncertain world. Right, so that's why I gotta do this. That's why I gotta go all the way around and chop down all these tiny little trees. I chopped down all of the little trees. There isn't a single little tree that's worth keeping. Not a single one of them. They all need to get chopped down. And at the same time, I am glad that they exist, because they do make for some easy chopping. They are easy chopping. So without them, there wouldn't be such easy chopping. The bigger trees are more tedious to chop, because you gotta build a dirt pillar usually to reach the top levels, you know. So I generally try to leave behind the bigger trees, especially if they're really nice looking. Sometimes they're not nice looking, and then I gotta chop them down anyways, because they're not very nice looking. But generally I try to chop down these small trees and then leave the big trees alone. That's usually how I go about it. Oh, I'm still holding a pickaxe, darn it. That's why it's slow. Like, why is it slow? The pickaxe, the hoes definitely do speed up the canopy breakage. What do you call it? What's the word? The mowing. That's not the right thing. You mow grass. The cutting of the canopy. That doesn't sound right either. I don't know. The breakage of the canopy. Words. Alright. Where are we at? Thought there's another tree over here. No, it's all just canopy now. Well, I probably shouldn't go on. I mean, I can just go on indefinitely. I can go on for like 100 days, probably just chopping down trees around this mountain, because there's just tons of these little trees. I mean, it's a mountain that's surrounded by forests. Well, not really. The others. I mean, there's the plains biome on the other side of it. Not really. I'm lying. That's not true. This is the side that's forested, and the other side is not really forested. I kind of just wanted to chop them down to make sure I light up any caves that I come across. And there was just that one. There weren't really, and that one, I don't think anything can even come out of that one. So far so good. I didn't really see anything particularly dangerous, but I'm pretty sure I solved the mystery of where that sound was coming from. It had to have been that little cave. So it's a pretty solid chunk of rock, this mountain is. For the time, and as far as I can tell, for now, I still got to look on the other side. Do I want to go back down for the canopy over here? I'm not going to wait for all of it to break down. I just want to collect the what's already out here. Collect these sticks and these little saplings. And then I think that's probably as far as I should go for now. See, like this tree, it comes too close to the ground on this side, so I'm gonna have to chop it down. It's not all that great. It's a big tree, but the branches reach the ground, just about. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go further. This still isn't far enough. But not today. I don't want to go just get carried away just chopping trees for like 30 days or something, or however long it's gonna take me. I don't want to do that. It's gonna be too long. I'd like to get this house built. I like it when I can get the starter house complete within like the first 50 days. I don't like it when the game kind of drags on for a long time before you even have a little starter house going, because it's a very satisfying point in the game when you finally have a space that you can call home, where you can safely stay up all night and watch the monsters just roam around at night behind your window. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that canopy to decompose. Perhaps I'll put a fence post. That's not a fence post. A fence post. I'll put up a fence post over here, just to sort of mark how far down I went. And then that's about it. I don't want to light up all of this surrounding area just yet. I just wanted to make sure there's no caves down there, so that nothing. At least I know that nothing's gonna crawl up on me during the day, right? I mean, at night it's still freaking dangerous. But that's why I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna section this area off with fence all around to make sure nothing's creeping up on me at night. But yeah, see, then after there's all these other sides of the mountain. There's this side of the mountain, and then there's that side of the mountain that I haven't even looked at yet. I haven't even been there yet. I don't even know what's on that side of the mountain. Let's see what's on this side of the mountain. There it is. There's this a cave over here. This looks like it might be a cave over here. No caves over here. Well, that's nice. That's good. No caves is good. I don't see any caves up here. Let's chop this little tree down. We don't need this tree over here. It's an unnecessary tree. I'm sorry, tree. You are unnecessary. I mean, the wood. You definitely aren't useless, because I'm definitely going to utilize the wood that I obtained from your inadvertent existence. Just like God, this tree had an inadvertent existence. It just had to exist for me to, and I just had to chop it down completely inadvertently. I really couldn't help myself. The decisions that you make, I mean, it feels like you're making decisions and stuff, but in reality, your brain is reacting to the inputs from its past. You're doing what your brain is having you do. There's no real control. You don't have control over anything. Nobody has control over anything. We're all just doing what we feel like doing. There's no escaping it, and that makes it sound like you're trying to make an excuse for yourself. But that's just the reality of life. Everybody's just doing what they feel like doing, and people who act like they don't, they're just lying about it. They're just trying to. It doesn't make sense for it to be otherwise. Everybody's doing because if you claim that you're not doing what you feel like doing, well, you have to want to not do it sufficiently. It's always like, if you're doing something hard that you don't really want to do, quote unquote, doing things we don't want to do, isn't that what our parents told us when we were growing up? You got to do things you don't want to do in life, and it's bullshit. Because, well, you have to want to do those things more than the other things you want to do. I mean, it still takes wanting to do those things that you don't really want to do. You still have to. There's a reason why you end up doing those, because you get something out of it that you just had to work for, had to do whatever it was that was difficult for you to do, that you weren't really up for, weren't really wanting to do, I guess. I mean, perhaps you would prefer, you have a preference for something else, but you still end up doing exactly what you want to do because you have to, you want the outcome, you want that other outcome. And if you can't get yourself to do it, well, it's because you don't want to do it enough. It's because your desire for not doing it supersedes your desire for doing it. And that's the way it always is for every decision you ever make. So no, everyone is always doing what they want to be doing, and there's no escape from that. And that's not an excuse. That's just reality. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we end up doing difficult things, but that's not because we don't want to do them. No, it's because there's reasons why you should want to do the difficult things, and that's okay. That makes sense, and that's exactly what the way you should explain it to your kid. Because otherwise, it's only more confusing to be trying to say that, oh, well, you have to do things you don't want to do. What the heck? I mean, then why are we doing anything then? If we have to do things we don't, then for what? What are you doing it for then? Isn't there something that you're doing it for? No, because apparently not, because that would mean that you want to do it because you're trying to get something out of it. Yeah, that's how it is every time, isn't it, cow? Look at that cow. That cow wanted to be at the top of that hill. It couldn't help itself. Because animals in Minecraft really like to get on top of hills. They have a strong preference, and then sometimes they wander off. But you know, she's gonna. If it's a she, well, I guess all Minecraft cows are female because they all have the milk bladders. So I think they're all female. There's no bulls in Minecraft. It's only the lady cows. All right. Well, I think we're well past the day 15 here. I think I went on talking about everything I normally talk about for much longer than I anticipated. How tall is this little hill over here? Is this little hill also going to need to come down? Am I going to carve this hill down? Well, I'm going to sort of flatten it down to there's going to be like a sort of a like the layer at which I have the camp set up at. That's kind of going to be like, I'm thinking that's going to be like the top layer, like the plateau. I'm going to kind of carve everything down to that layer and make a plateau of it, and fill in the caves that are underneath that, and fence it all off. And that's going to be a big old project, going to be a very long project. And I'm probably going to build the little house on the peak. I want to build the little tiny house on the peak before I even do that, because it's going to be such a big project. Like flattening this whole space out and putting fence around and going all the way around the base of the mountain, freaking lighting everything up, chopping down all the trees. It's going to be an enormous task. It's going to be like, I mean, I would go well past day 100 to actually complete this enormous mountain build. Mountain builds, they take forever. That's why in the prologue world, I didn't do this. I didn't go on top of the mountain and just start building on top of the mountain because I knew it would take forever. That's why I wanted to just sort of build a tiny little house. Dog, what are you doing up here? This is not a good spot for a dog. Are you stuck up here? I think he's stuck up here. I kind of just wanted to see what's down here. It's really steep down here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come across any caves. Let's just look around a little bit more. I need a chop axe. I don't have enough. Or no, I guess I got that one there. Need another hoe. I should go back to base camp, drop this stuff off before I do any more exploring, and I should end the episode. I'm sure we'll went on for well over. I'm in the clouds. Woo! I'm in the clouds. Ooh-wee. Very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy doing that. All right. Well, what is this area? Well, all these trees also need to come down. I need to make it to base camp before it gets too dark. I mean, I have my bed on me. I could just pitch the bed anywhere and sleep wherever I want. I don't have to go to base camp every night. I don't even have a permanent bed out here anyways. I'm going to just have to pitch the one bed that I'm carrying around with me. Let's see. I kind of want to see the sunsets. I'm going to come out here. Yeah, this little spot right here is where I've been sleeping. I love it when I can catch the sunset in Minecraft. I have a special spot in my heart for sunsets. I don't want to get into it right now, but I'll have to talk about that at some point. All right, there's the stars. It's time to go to bed. And then I think that's it. I think I gotta wrap it up. I survived. I survived to episode 4. That has been, well, I gotta complete the, I always drop everything off, make my drops. I can just carry that around with me for now. I always do this at the end of the episode. Let me go ahead and do this just to finish up. Finish what I'm doing over here. Do I want the... Yeah, I think I want that there. Because that entire first row is just going to be more drops, I think. Got extra sticks on me now. Yeah, that's good. I'm sure I'll chop more birch trees down. I'll just carry that log with me for now. Okay, that's it. I reorganized my inventory. Now we're all set. We're all set to end the episode. Let's see where we're at on days. We're at days 16 days played. We're on day 17 now. So that was like a full 5-day episode. Yeah. Okay, well, that's it now. That's it. Sheep, brown sheep. Are you gonna be my thumbnail for this episode? Beautiful brown sheep to end the episode with. Yeah. There's not enough contrast. That's not enough contrast. I don't think that's gonna be a good thumbnail. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's a good thumbnail. Look at that. Yeah, I think that was a good one. I think that's probably what I'm going to use. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching. I forgot to say thank you the last time. I was mad at myself. I always try to remember to say thank you at the end of the episode. If anybody made it this far, I would really appreciate it, and I really appreciate comments, especially if they're disagreeable comments. I appreciate those even more. So please don't feel any kind of reluctance in posting any kind of comments you want. I go out of my way to turn the comment moderation off when I publish these videos. So it should be a total complete free-for-all. You can just say anything you want in the comments, and I would appreciate it if you do. So yeah, thank you once again for making it this far with me, and I'll see you in the next episode. Shadowlay, my fellows. Shadowlay.